Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is Wednesday, and the market is pulling back a little bit. Google kind of jumped off the deep end today. It was down 7.7%, and it kind of looks like there's war in the AI space. I want to talk about a stock that I did buy today called AI. That's the symbol of it. It's called C3.ai. And I don't know how this one is going to work out. I'm up on it a little bit. I do like the stock, and I think that the AI portion of the market seems to be heating up. Kind of interesting. So without further ado, let's get into the slides here, and kind of see where it's what's cooking here on the with the market. Let me see if I can pull this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, super. All right. So basically, the Google stock came down to its 200-day line, which is kind of interesting. I mean, when you look at that. So let's look at Google just really quickly and kind of see and what's going on in terms of that. So what happened was that they introduced their new thing called Bard. This was what they put out there. It was called Bard, and it just absolutely tanked the stock. Google has been struggling a tad here, but we had a big sell-off. It moved down significantly with a huge volume increase. So not really kind of like the thing you want to see here. You don't really want to see this kind of sell-off in the stock. I mean, it just it's just showing that things are changing rapidly when it comes to the landscape here. And oops, go back to the right tab here. Oh goodness, wow, because that way, hopefully I didn't screw this up. Let's see, I opened in wrong tab here. Let's see if I can get back to the correct tab. There we go. All right, so we're back. I was a little bit short on the time, so I didn't close all my tabs. I've got a ton of tabs open on my desktop, as you probably well know. There we go. All right, so now we're back and looking a lot better there. Okay. All right. So what's going on is that this tremendous sell-off on Google, and I kind of want to put it out there for everyone. Basically, this is the decline. I mean, it's below $100, and it does look like things are changing out there. So, who knows what's going to happen. What I wanted to show you though is is a stock that I bought today, kind of on that news. And that was this stock called C3.ai, and as you can see, it's up, whereas the stock, whereas Google's down. So this may actually potentially cause some difficulty for Google. So this company I bought in today, just right about 25 or so. We'll see if it holds up tomorrow. It's very extended. Definitely not the easiest stock to buy here. It just really isn't the easiest stock to buy because it is extended. So that's one thing that I kind of warn you on. But it is up after hours, and I think it's going to look pretty good. So that's sort of how I'm playing it. With this one. But the symbol of this one is AI. So you might want to take a look at that. All right, well, let's go over what I've got currently. Everything, and I'm pretty much in right now. And basically, Amcor Technology, that was down today. Not good, but it was only about 1%. Chevron, I'm in Chevron, and it was down. Chevron has been going. It was up to 174, and then it's pulled back a little bit. Still down about $4. Down about $2.35. I'm kind of holding in there with basically a half position. Just kind of waiting for it to move higher. Then I'll probably sell it. On Semi was down today, but I do expect a bounce on that one. PI, Impinj, that was also down as well. The XLE was down as well. And of course, the XLE is mostly Chevron and Exxon. That's the two primary components of the XLE. Then AI, the one I was talking about, that was up, a 400, and the volume on that was up 418%. With a price change of about $1.66 or about 6.77%. So pretty nice move on that one. Who knows? Who knows? This is the chart kind of for C3AI. Nothing really to report after hours, but what's significant about this was all of the volume that was coming in on this one. Composite rating 79. So I'd like it a little better, but can't complain that much. So that's kind of where it's that's kind of where it's at on that. All right, well, let's get into the questions and go from there. All right, so put that back. There we go. So let's get into some of the questions, and here we go. So I'm going over here, and thank you for that. Sandeep, thank you always. Meta. They're going to take a look at Meta. And by the way, I want to put it out there for everyone. I did transcribe the IBD 50. I think it's a really worthwhile list to take a look at. Just kind of give you a little bit of an overview really quickly of it, and how you can get it. It's super easy. We just pull that up here, IBD 50 list, so you can see it. Right, and gonna change that over to, let's see if I can show you this IBD 50 list. Okay. Yeah. So this is the IBD 50 list, and the way you can get it, super easy. Let me just put the banners up here so you can get it. But it's a little bit complicated. But this is the address to get it. Now, if you're watching on TikTok, super easy to get this list. Just go to my profile, click on that link, and you'll be able to see the IBD 50 list. But this is kind of giving us some look at kind of what I've been looking at, coming up here, and I kind of want to just go through that just really quickly here, and just sort of go through some of these ones that are moving nicely. One of the ones I wanted, of course, you probably know that I was in Lattice Semiconductor. Now, I did sell out of that, but I'm kind of waiting for a pullback there on that one. So Lattice LSCC, that's an interesting one there. Crocs is very well set up right now as well. So you might want to go over to Crocs, CROX. That's nicely set up. Let's see, Rambus. I'm just trying to find something that. Yeah, one of the things that I think that might be of interest here is that DraftKings, DKNG, that has been showing some very nice action. That's been showing some very nice action. So what I would like to do is just go over to that chart really quick and show you that DraftKings, DKNG. Let's pull that up. There we go. There's DraftKings. Now, it kind of looks strange here because of the aspect ratio on this. Oops, let's see if I can flip that camera over. There we go. So everyone can see it on TikTok. Kind of looks flat here, nothing really to report. But if we go to the weekly chart, you can see this better kind of what's going on here with DraftKings. You know, for a while there, there wasn't any reason to buy DraftKings. It just wasn't working. This is the weekly chart, by the way. But now it looks like we're getting a reversal, and I want to show you this reversal line on DraftKings, because this line here, this is the reversal line. It's showing it's starting to make some nice headway. Now, here's the thing: EPS is in earnings is in 6 days, so it's a little bit dangerous here. Their estimated EPS is going to be about losing about 51 cents, but you know, it is coming up on earnings, and I do think it might pop. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to switch over to the daily chart to kind of give you a look-see. I've been watching this one. I don't own this one yet, but I've been looking to possibly size a position here. It is a little bit extended. You know, it's 15% over the 21-day line, which I don't typically like, but it's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. So I'm not buying this one yet. It's a cup with handle situation, and it's looking like it's starting to make a move. So you might want to put this one on your list. You might want to put this one on your list. Oops, did I not show it? Yeah, okay. And that is DKNS DraftKings. So and it's easy to get the ready list. Of course, just go to this address that I have on the screen. If you're looking on TikTok, just go to the link which is up there with in my bio. Just click on that, and you'll be able to jump on over to that list. Super easy to do. All right, let's take a question. Thank you very much. Sandeep is asking about crowdsource CRWD. Let's look at the chart on CRWD. Yeah, see, CrowdStrike. Of course, this is in the CEF, so the software security area, and it is sort of starting to make some move here, but not totally there yet. So let's pull up the screen. All right, so there we go for CrowdStrike. Here's the thing about CrowdStrike. It's starting to make a move above the 50-day. It's not ready to go yet. Relative strength on this is only 10. I probably wouldn't be in it. Part of the reason I have a problem with CrowdStrike is that it is below that 200-day line. And you know, it's true, I have been buying below that 200-day line, but it's just something I don't really like to do if I don't have to. So let's take a look at the group, the software security group, which I do think is starting to see some movement in that. Let's take a look at that, and I want to look at, you know, what are the best stocks in that particular group right now. Not a huge amount of strength in this group, but we are starting to see things like it almost reverse. So one of the stocks that I would like to take a look at is NICE, NICE, and that, you know, I haven't really looked at this stock in a while. This is an Israeli company, and it seems to be setting up fairly well if you want to be in this sector, which is the computer software security sector. It is one of the highest rated ones, and that was looking fairly good. The technicals on this one, you see, this one, again, it's above that 200-day line, and it's right about the 21-day line, so about 5% above that 21-day line. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of where we want to start sizing a position if you want to be in the software security space. I don't think CrowdStrike is the right stock right now because it's not a leader. And remember, we want to find leaders. That's the whole exercise here. We're trying to find the strongest leaders that we can find, and not the one. Let's look at VeriSign. Still, these are relative strengths above 80, which I like to see. Let's look at VeriSign. I haven't looked at VeriSign in a long time, but it does look like it's giving a nice pullback. It's got a 78 checklist, which I like, and it is right at the 21-day line. So I do think that we're going to start to see some more investment in this particular area, which is the which is the computer security area. It has pulled back nicely. And let's just look at the technicals on it, on the pattern rec. Well, we're basically just below a double bottom. That's not a bad pattern here. On the checklist, yeah, okay, so not bad. So we're 50%. So this one, I definitely think we could probably start looking at possibly doing a position on this one. This is a little expensive stock, VeriSign. Of course, VeriSign was the company that did all the internet registration. So very interesting company. But this one is starting to set up. If you want to be in the computer security area, I think that this is kind of the stock you want to do. Now, I wouldn't buy it today, obviously, because earnings are in one day, but this is one definitely to watch. Put it on your watch list. VRSN, VeriSign. And that one is starting to set up very, very nicely. So kind of an interesting company there. All right, let's take a question. Well, Charles, I'm gonna take a question from TikTok here, from Brunswick 300, and that is on SoFi. Not a stock I would recommend, but I know that a lot of people bought it and they wrote it down. This is why it's so important that you have a stop loss program and you don't let anything go below 7% on the way down, because it just can be really, really painful. Currently, it's a $7 stock, so not probably one I would be buying. I typically like to buy stocks that cost more than $10 a share. It's not that I'm being snooty here. It's just that that reduces a lot of the volatility on the stock. Now, let's take a look at the fundamentals on SoFi Technology. We are seeing some very nice gains in terms of their in terms of their sales. They're up 83%, but they're still not making money. And this is a problem in this type of market. It's just unforgiving. Sales are up, but it isn't like it was before, where companies are paying for sales with a very few exceptions. They're just, you got to bring it. You got to have the profitability. Currently, it is not looking good. Part of the problem with SoFi, very low number of funds, only 17% in this. What these funds did is that it was a pump and dump operation. A lot of people got left holding bag on this one. Please don't be one of those people. Only 17% of the funds are in. I typically like to see funds of 40% or better in anything. Why? Because that gives me a little bit of security that some of the big boys are in there. It doesn't look. This is a stock that was sold to retail investors, and I'm afraid a lot of the retail investors are going to be taking on the short. So I just wouldn't recommend this one. SoFi, it's just not looking good. Let's take a look at the history of it. I'm going to go over here to the monthly chart. You can see what I'm talking about. This has been a downward trend basically since its beginning. It was way up here, almost $30 a share, and now that it's down at about $8 a share, it is coming up, but still not. I don't think it's really turned the corner, and I just wouldn't be in this one. It just doesn't give you that kind of. It doesn't give you that kind of look-see. So I wouldn't be in that one right now as we speak. So just not something that I would personally. I would pursue. Oh, wait a minute! I had the ready list up here. I need to put up the IBD 50 list. There we go. So I had the wrong banner up there, but this is the IBD 50 list you can get, and these are the stocks that I'm concentrating on. Why? Because they typically are setting up very nicely, and they're a tech stock, so we like that as well. Let's go to the comments. Troy, thank you very much. Check out DYNT. Let's see if we can check that one out. DYNT. Oh, this is Dynatrace. No, I'm sorry. Dynatronics. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. This is a $2 stock, not a terribly expensive stock. Typically, again, I'm not as interested in these lesser expensive stocks because they can get you can make money on them, definitely, but it also can be kind of deadly. Look at this 1 day until earnings. Let's take a look at I just can't recommend this one, Troy. It's got a terrible checklist. 22% just doesn't look good. It's in a downward trend. I don't want to. I want to see something that's going to move. That's going to move higher. Let's see if we can look at the weekly chart. Yeah, this has been a stock that has just been very disappointing. It did try to come up to the 50-day line, but it doesn't look like it's getting. It looks like it's getting some resistance here. So if we look at the monthly chart on this one, you might be able to make money on this one day trading it, but it goes way back here all the way till 1998, and it's just been on a downward trend since then. So I just don't think you can, this company may be going out of business. Just doesn't look good. Troy also was talking about shorting Moderna. Well, wait a minute. Did I show you that? Yeah, there we go. So this is for Troy. This is DYNT. This is what I was talking about. This stock really moving down strong, and just don't recommend it. There is a lot of activity on it in the last few years, but I just can't get excited about it. Cannot get excited about it at all. Mr. Jeet, let's look at Zscaler. Now, this is a software security stock that has seen some pretty good action, and I want to compare it against Verisign, which I do think is the class move in the software security stock. This one it's starting to see some love, but it's still below that 200-day line. So I probably would not be a buyer below that 200-day line. This is ZS for everybody looking on Tech Talk. I would not be a buyer below that 200-day line. Relative strength on this one, 22, meaning that unfortunately 78% of all the stocks in the market are stronger than this one. Don't like to buy weakness, and that is also showing a little bit of weakness on the checklist. The checklist is not looking as good as we would like it. 67%, that's my minimum buy for the checklist, but still don't like it. We're 9% above the 21-day line. So probably not. I probably would not be an investor here. I definitely would watch this one. And it does, it's significant, it's coming up. It's about 40% above a cup base. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't be a buyer here, but I do like the area that it's in, this software security area. And if we look at that area of the market, we can basically find, some things that I would consider investing in. Again, we talked about a little bit about NICE, and then Absolute Software. Now, this is interesting. This is a company I'm not familiar with, but it's got a very strong relative strength. I like to seek stocks that have a strong relative strength. I mean, that's one of my main criteria for buying, is to find something that is showing a lot of relative strength. Now, this one seems to be, and it is a relatively cheap stock, $11.68, but it's pulled back to the 21-day line. So this is something I really like. Relative strength 93, I definitely like that. How close to the 50? Yeah, we're right on the 21-day line. This is a place that I like to buy something like this. I want to see stuff that's got a strong relative strength. Here's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to look at this and compare this with Zscaler, and just kind of see in the software security area which of these is the better of the two. And let me just put this. And let's see, that's Absolute, and then ZS. Zscaler. Well, Zscaler is outperforming, so there you go. I was wrong. So Zscaler is outperforming the other one, at least in the last month or so. So I mean, that's the key. So here is a comparison of Zscaler versus Absolute Software. The Absolute Software is the one I came across basically because of its high relative strength. I always like to see a high relative strength. They're both doing well, but I think that I think that Zscaler is a little bit stronger, at least into February. This is as of the first of the year, basically starting at the same. If we invested in both of them, Zscaler would have moved up a little bit more. See if I can get the chart here. Yeah, they're both up. Zscaler's up almost 25%, and Absolute Software is up as well. The part of the reason I like Absolute Software is I think it has a better chart than Zscaler. Yeah. Now this also had a high. This is way up here at 23 at one point. Currently, $12 seems to be the pivot. I'm just looking here for signs of overhead supply, and it does look like not that much overhead supply on this one. Let's look at Zscaler. I just want to look at the overhead supply on Zscaler, ZS, which is the symbol there. And let's look to see on that one. Yeah, a lot more overhead supply on Zscaler. What do I mean by overhead supply? Well, what you do is you go back 18 months and then you kind of draw a line there and you look to see how much is existing above this about 140 number. And there's a whole lot. So if it comes up here, it's going to have a little bit of struggle through here because so many people bought back there. But it does look like probably a lot of people took losses, and but this definitely has much more overhead supply than does Absolute Software. So interesting on that. All right, let's take a look at the spider for, okay, let's look at the spider. And I kind of want to go to my handy dandy slides for the spider. Let's see if I can bring that up. This is kind of my market prediction slide. I'm trying to be more predictive here. This is my prediction on the spider. Basically, what's happened is that the spider closed today at 410, and this is halfway between the range that I think it's moving in, between 390 on the low. That's sort of the floor, and then I believe 431. So we're right in the middle. We pulled back a little bit today, but we're still within the range. And I think we're still in an upward trend on, I think we're still in an upward trend on that. So let's go over to the spider chart. And kind of look at that to see. Yeah, definitely a pullback today, but it basically to the 10-day line. So what I'm doing here is I'm just coming over to the chart for the spider. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. All right. So here's the spider. We definitely, and this is a good thing. I want to show you this. This is kind of interesting. This is the golden cross right here. All right. What that means is the 50-day line is moving above the 200-day line. So right now, the stock is somewhat bullish. Let's look at the stochastics on it. This is the kind of the propensity to buy stuff. Well, it is starting to get to the point where the spider is sort of oversold. So that's why we pulled off a little bit today. It's kind of good that we did, because that's showing, that's showing a little bit of relief here. It did pull down to the 10-day line. See how far that 10-day line is. Yeah, we're right on the 10-day line. So I definitely think we're going to probably see a bounce here off of this 10-day line. So my guess is we're going to probably see an up market tomorrow and then possibly on Friday. But again, it's just really a tough it's really a tough go all the way around. So I definitely, looking at the spider here, we pulled back to the 10-day line. I think we're going to see a bounce. Who knows? But I definitely think we're going to see a bounce. Let's see. Hey, looking at BLNK charging. This is an interesting stock. I was playing this one. I haven't been playing this one since last summer, but definitely could be an acquisition target. BLNK. And of course, as more and more EVs get out there, you're going to see this thing move probably better. But I don't know if I'm ready for it right now. We're still below that 200-day line. That's right here. Let me show you that 200-day line. Yeah, we're still below the 200. We're still below the 200-day line. Let's pull the chart up. There we go. So here's the here's the chart on BLNK charging. We're still below that 200-day line. This is the reversal line that I drew here. Now, this is a little bit different than the 200-day line. This is it in a upward or downward trend? Currently, it is just moved to an upward trend. But here's the problem I have with this. The relative strength is 9. I mean, yes, this is bottom fishing, but I'm seeing an awful lot of selling action going on here. This is a logarithmic scale, by the way. And so up here, there's an awful lot of selling. So I would not be a buyer here. I just wouldn't be a buyer. I'm seeing a lot of institutional selling in this stock. The checklist is not strong. It's 44%. If you're down more than 7% on this one, I'd consider selling and waiting for a better opportunity. I just don't think it doesn't. I mean, yes, it is trending up, but there's just so much better merchandise out there right now than BLNK charging. It just doesn't seem to have the oomph that I'd definitely like to see it. Let's take a look at the fundamentals on it. Definitely moving up in sales, no question about it. They're selling a lot, but see, here's the problem: they're selling a lot, but they're not making any money. They have a negative cash flow, and I just don't think a negative cash flow is very good. Also, the amount of funds that are in it, not a whole lot. 221 funds there. Just not a good deal. This is losing money, and I definitely think that, yes, it may be an acquisition target eventually, but I just think that, BLNK charging, I don't think you're going to want to be in it. I just don't think you're going to want to be in it. It just doesn't look good. Yes, their sales are increasing, but they're losing money, and I don't, and they could get, it might be a good buyout candidate. That's basically who I see it as. Mr. Jeet wants to look at Pearl, P-E-R. Is it PERI? No, P-E-R-I, excuse me. I had it wrong there. P-E-R-I. Let's look at that chart. And that's PERI Networks. It's based in Israel. Interesting company. Don't know about this company. I don't. But let's look at the chart and see if we can decipher kind of where things are going. There we go. And PERI Networks. Pull that in here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, it's definitely a nice. This is a cup formation, and it definitely looks like, it's getting a little bit of resistance, but it's up after hours. I like this one. 95 relative strength. Wow, that's the kind of stock you want to look at. That high relative strength. Look at that 100% checklist. I'm going to put this one down in my in my list, because this one I do like. I do like this one, absolutely. Let's look at some more stuff on it. The symbol on this one, PERI, and it does look like it is 15% and it's above the pivot. Wow, that's great. That's great. So it's pulling back to the two. Let me look at the technicals on this one. Yeah, this could be something. I'm going to go to the daily chart, see if I can get some more deciphering on this one before we go through the fundamentals on it. But let's go to, there we go. Okay, so this is the chart on the daily chart. It pulled way down. Interesting. Don't know what happened here, but we are below the 21-day line. That's not bad. Here's the thing: I wouldn't buy it until we saw an uptrend. But let's take a look at the 10-minute chart, kind of to see what happened. Very nice. It looks like it got some support. This was the downtrend, and we're coming, and some buying is coming in. Definitely good. This one looks very interesting. I don't know what happened here with this one, but it definitely is showing some very interesting stuff. I want to look at the at the weekly chart to see what the fundamental analysis are, to see if it's making money or not. Always like to see that. They just reported, interesting, they just reported up, sales were up 33%, profits were up 45%. I really like that. Look at that PE ratio, that's pretty low, 14. Cash flow is good, excellent. We have increasing number of funds in it. I like that. And this is looking very, very good. Israeli-based digital advertising solutions. Interesting. Okay, well, I definitely like this space. Let's see how it stacks up against the rest of the sector here. Yeah, it's absolutely at the top. Omicron, the trade desk. Wow, look at that, 97 relative strength. Wow, I definitely like this one a lot. I definitely think this one, you could definitely size a position on this one. And it does look like, I'm going to draw the reversal line here. I just want to see how far above that it is. Yeah, it's making a breakout on that reversal. So very interesting. Very interesting there. Making a, well, so Omicron. So this one definitely is looking very, very nice. Very, very nice here. Yeah, I definitely think this is actionable. And boy, look at that 100% checklist. So this is actionable. This one is actionable, and I do think PERI. I definitely like this one. And thanks for bringing this up. I like this stock a lot. I like the chart a lot, and I think it's pretty excellent. All right, Charles is asking about CDAY. CDAY. That one. Let's see about this. And okay, this is software. All right. Looking interesting. 89 checklist. Technicals are pretty good. I want to look at the fundamental analysis. What I'm doing here, by the way, just so everybody knows, is that I'm looking at the fundamental analysis, which is the profits. This is kind of, when you go to business school, this is what they tell you to look at, is projections and all that kind of stuff. So that's essentially what I'm doing here with that. So let me take off that so you can see it. Let's go back over there. And I'm kind of looking out and into the future. We just reported earnings, 23% up in sales, 100%, wow, up in profitability per share. I really like that. Look at this, 1192 number of funds. That's a lot of funds. PE ratio, it's a high PE ratio, but typically if the funds are coming in, then there's something interesting. Develops human capital software, Dayforce, okay, provides you, okay. And payroll, this is a good area of the market. It's software enterprise, though. This has been hurting a little bit. Cash flow is good here. 68% funds. I like seeing that. Let's go to the daily chart to see how far above or below. See if this is recovering or not. All right. 21-day, we're 4% above. This is buyable, so it bounced off that 21-day line. 90 relative strength. So this is actually looking very, very good. I probably would not put this in my portfolio right now, but I definitely would watch this one. This came through earnings very, very well, as you can see. Came through very, very well. So 23%, 23 cents per share earnings on this one, and it was up from 9 cents last year. So very, very strong. Good stock. Good stock. I probably wouldn't be a buyer here, but definitely like the stock. All right, I'll probably do the last few questions here. All right, let's look at Southern Copper for Racer X 289. Definitely a Speed Racer fan there. Coming in on TikTok. So let's look at SCCO. This is Southern Copper. And let's take a look. Southern Copper. And there we are. Put the chart up for Southern. And it definitely looks like it's in a flag pattern, sort of flagging there. It came up. This is a flag. That's what they call this pattern. Starting to see some movement on the relative strength, 74.42. Now there is another stock that I want to bring up here, and it's the Chilean company. But this is looking very interesting. Technicals good. Checklist is good, not great, but good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this against a stock that is in the IBD 50 right now, and that is SQM. Put that up. This is a Chilean company, so see if I can put SQM in there. All right. And since interesting. Okay. Well, it's definitely outperforming Southern Copper. The reason I want to look at this stock, SQM, is because it's sort of in the same area. It's in that mining area. And there we go. This is SQM. SCCO is definitely outperforming that. So that's interesting. So the performance has been very good for Southern Copper. Now, I do think that with the inflation that's going on in the world right now, Southern Copper has a good future because, that's one thing you see when you see a lot of inflation is you see commodity prices go up. Definitely copper is in that category. And the question is, how close could you buy that to the 21-day line? Well, let's look. Yeah, this is definitely buyable. Checklist is a little bit light. I'd like to see a better checklist than this, but remember, this is a commodity stock, so a little bit different than some of the tech stocks in terms of the way it operates. If we go over to the monthly, this is sort of the 20,000 foot view here. Oops. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling up the big chart here just for Southern Copper. There we go. All right. So here we are with Southern Copper. And if we look at it overall, we can see that there's a giant cup and there's a handle. That's very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I definitely see this as a giant cup. It goes way back here, almost a year, and it looks like it might be starting to break out. Now, one of the things that is a little bit concerning to me is that there's been a lot of selling going on of this stock. So I don't know what's going on here, but definitely the sales have outpaced the buys. In terms of the technicals, we're very close to the 21-day line. Not a bad place to buy it if you're going to buy it. I don't know. I would probably take a pass on SCCO just based on that. I mean, I don't think it's set up as well as I would like to see it. So kind of my take on that one. And this was for TikTok. So I would not be a buyer of SCCO at this point. I think that there's just potentially some better merchandise out there right now. So probably last question here. Mr. Jeet, let's look at EXTR. And let's see if we can get that one up. EXTR. And this one, Extreme Networks. Yeah, okay. Extreme Networks. I definitely like this kind of area of the market. $19. It was up today, 95 relative strength. I definitely like seeing that. We're very close to the 21-day. That is good as well. The checklist is strong. And the pattern rec, let's look at that, 21. So it's in a consolidation. So it's below the pivot. Boy, that's a good place to buy it. If we were to put in the reversal line, let's do that. So it's coming right up to the reversal. So we're still in the downward trend on this one, but it looks like we're tapping right up against this reversal. So this is interesting. Let's look at it, compare this to its peers, because the computer networking area has not been. It's been it's been in a kind of a funk for a while. It looks as if Extreme. So Extreme is one of the Arista Networks is really the leader here. This is one of the ones that I've been trying to size the position here. This is Arista. Now let's compare ERISA against this one, Extreme. EXTR, I think that's it. Yeah, Extreme Networks. And go here to the chart so we can see it. Kind of this is over the last year time frame. So definitely Extreme has outperformed over the last year, but let's look at over the last month. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So interesting chart here. We're seeing basically that ANET has done better than Extreme. So here's what I would say. I think that you're probably better off with, at least for right now, it's probably with ANET rather than Extreme. 82 relative strength on ANET. Let's look at Extreme. And see if I can get that. Yeah, 95. So, well, no, Extreme has much higher relative strength. So yeah, okay, I agree. Even though ANET in the last month has outperformed Extreme, the relative strength, which is really the key, is much better on Extreme. So Extreme is probably the one that you want. So very interesting. Thanks for that, Jeet. Really appreciate it. That's a good call. The question is now, where can we go with this one? Well, I definitely like this. We're above that 200-day line. We're above that 50, and it looks as if, let's look to see the stochastics on this one. Yeah, this is not bad. This is not a bad place to buy it. So Extreme Networks, I really like this one. Thanks for bringing this one up. EXTR. I'm going to write that down in my kind of cheat sheet here. But yeah, that's looking very, very good. So thank you very, very much for that, Extreme Networks. And I really appreciate that one. So that's definitely buy. We could definitely buy that one here at this level because it's very close to the 21-day line. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We went through a lot of stocks here. Again, I want to show you this chart of the IBD 50 because I think that it provides some very, very good information that we can kind of put to use. And let me go over here and let's put the IBD 50 up here again so you can kind of see what this looks like. There we go. So this is kind of what this is kind of what it looks like here. But if you want to get that, super easy to do. All you have to do is go over here to you put the banner up. If you're watching, there we go. So this is going to be the IBD 50 list. To get that IBD 50 list, it's easy to do. Just go to this https://sendfox/LP-M5XRLL. So that's kind of the way to do it. If you're watching on if you're watching on TikTok, I put that link up in my bio. So super easy. Just go to the bio and then click on that. You'll be able to get the link for the IBD 50 list. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks again. I hope that everyone's doing well. Please, it really helps us out. Of course, please like the show. It really does help. And again, if you're not already on the list, www Dallas Trading Floor to get on our list. So smash the like button, and that really helps us out. And we will be back tomorrow at 5. Hope to see you then. And happy trading. Some of the symbols that we covered today, PERI, EXTR. Those are two. I think they're viable right now. Also, AI. Take a look at that one. I think that's viable as well. So I will be back here tomorrow at 5. Thanks, everybody. Happy